Look, nobody likes a doomsayer. But sometimes you just have to look at the buffet of increasingly alarming hors d'oeuvres and say, you know what? This party might be about to take a turn. What if I told you that by 2025, some of Europe's most powerful nations could be on the verge of collapse? Imagine riots in the streets, banks shutting down, and governments on the brink of failure. It may sound like a dystopian thriller, but this is the shocking reality that experts warn is unfolding before our eyes. A perfect storm of economic stagnation, political fragmentation, and rising social unrest is pushing several European countries towards an uncertain future. Think of it like this. Europe is a bus rapidly approaching a roundabout of chaos, and nobody can agree on which exit to take. But which countries are most at risk? Buckle up, folks, as we uncover the 10 European nations teetering on the edge of collapse. And don't forget to subscribe to GlobeBit on YouTube for more in-depth analysis and updates. And the 10th country? Well, you'll have to stay tuned to find out. Ah, France. The land of wine, cheese, and the unyielding belief that berets are a good look. But beneath the charming veneer of baguettes and existentialism lies a country grappling with some serious existential dread. France, one of Europe's biggest economies, faces growing political instability. The Yellow Vest protests were just the beginning. With economic stagnation, high unemployment, and rising inequality, the country is seeing a surge in political extremism. And let's not forget the pension reforms. The French love a good protest. It's practically their national sport. But when the protests become a regular fixture on the calendar, it's a sign that something is fundamentally broken. France is not alone. It stands as the 9th country facing collapse by 2025. Germany, the land of efficiency, order, and a frankly alarming number of sausage varieties. It's the economic powerhouse of Europe. The responsible older sibling who always does their homework and never misses a mortgage payment. But even the most well-oiled machine can start to sputter when it's running on fumes. Germany, Europe's powerhouse, is struggling. An energy crisis, an aging workforce, and political divisions threaten its stability. The energy crisis has hit Germany particularly hard. Remember when they decided to phase out nuclear power? Well, turns out relying on a certain authoritarian regime for your gas supply can backfire spectacularly. And then there's the demographic time bomb. Germany's population is aging faster than a banana in a college dorm room. Germany is facing a perfect storm of challenges. The question is, can it weather the storm and emerge stronger? Or will it be swept away by the rising tide of instability? And Germany is not alone. It stands as the 8th country on our list facing collapse by 2025. Spain, a country known for its stunning beaches, delicious tapas, and a tendency to erupt into political chaos with the predictability of a siesta schedule. From the Spanish Civil War to the Catalonia independence movement, Spain has a knack for internal strife. Spain's economic struggles are compounded by deep regional tensions. The Catalonia independence movement remains a major challenge while youth unemployment remains one of the highest in Europe. And as if that wasn't enough, Spain is also grappling with sky-high youth unemployment. Spain is a country of immense potential, but it's being held back by its own internal divisions. Can it find a way to heal the rifts and move forward as a united nation? Or will it be torn apart by the forces of separatism and economic despair? Spain is the 7th country facing collapse by 2025. Poland, the land of pierogies, Chopin, and a government that seems determined to dismantle democracy one sausage roll at a time. Look, I'm not saying Poland is turning into a full-blown dictatorship, but let's just say the alarm bells of freedom are ringing louder than a polka band at a sausage festival. Poland's democracy is facing challenges. Political polarization, judicial control, and conflicts with the EU put the country in a precarious position. The ruling Law and Justice Party has been busy consolidating its power, eroding judicial independence, and clamping down on press freedom. And then there's the small matter of Poland's ongoing feud with the European Union. The EU is basically Poland's sugar daddy, providing billions in funding. But Poland seems determined to bite the hand that feeds it, ignoring EU rules and generally acting like that one friend who borrows money and then pretends not to recognize you in public. Poland is at a crossroads. It can choose the path of democracy and integration with Europe, or it can continue down the road of authoritarianism and isolation. And Poland isn't alone. It's the 6th country on our list facing collapse by 2025. Serbia, a country with a complex history, a proud people and a leader who seems to have missed the memo that the 1990s called and wants its strongman politics back. Serbia's authoritarian leadership and ethnic tensions create instability. As political opposition grows and relations with neighboring countries remain tense, Serbia's future is uncertain. Ethnic tensions simmer beneath the surface, fueled by historical grievances and political opportunism. Until it confronts its past and embraces a more democratic future, it will remain a powder keg of tension, a threat to itself and its neighbors. Alongside Serbia, the fifth country facing collapse by 2025 is Bosnia and Herzegovina, grappling with its own set of challenges. Hungary, the land of goulash thermal baths, and a prime minister who seems to think he's a cross between Vlad the Impaler and a budget Mussolini. Viktor Orban, the self-proclaimed illiberal Democrat, has been busy turning Hungary into his own personal fiefdom, dismantling democratic institutions faster than you can say authoritarian slide. Hungary's economy is reliant on EU funds, but its increasing authoritarianism is causing concern. With rising restrictions on media and the judiciary, Hungary faces economic fragility. He's cracked down on the media, eroded judicial independence, and demonized migrants. And the EU? Well, they're not exactly thrilled. They've been trying to rein in Orban's excesses, but he's slippery as a greased piglet in a paprika-fueled frenzy. Hungary is a cautionary tale of what happens when democracy is allowed to decay from within. And Italy, the fourth country facing collapse by 2025, is watching closely. Italy, a country known for its stunning art-delicious food and a political system that makes a plate of spaghetti junction look like a model of efficiency. Italy is like that friend who's always dating someone new, and every relationship is a whirlwind of passion, drama, and inevitably a messy breakup. Italy's political instability is legendary, and its economic struggles continue. Populist movements are on the rise, challenging the country's future stability. They've had more governments than I've had hot dinners, and that's saying something. And then there's the economy. Italy has been stuck in a rut for years, weighed down by debt, corruption, and a chronic inability to get its act together. Until it can find a way to govern itself effectively, it will remain the sick man of Europe, a cautionary tale of what happens when democracy goes off the rails. And Italy isn't alone. The third country facing collapse by 2025 is also grappling with similar issues. Greece, the land of ancient ruins, stunning islands, and an economy that's been through the ringer more times than a souvenir tea towel in a tourist shop. Remember the Greek debt crisis? Of course you do. It was the financial equivalent of a hangover that just wouldn't quit. Greece still struggles from the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. Debt, unemployment, and political dissatisfaction remain serious concerns. Austerity measures have crippled the economy, unemployment remains stubbornly high, and a generation of young Greeks has been left with little hope for the future. Greece is a country at a crossroads. It can choose to continue down the path of austerity and despair, or it can find a new way forward, one that prioritizes the needs of its people over the demands of its creditors. And Greece isn't alone. Italy, too, faces a similar fate, with economic instability threatening its future. Moldova, Europe's forgotten corner, sandwiched between Romania and Ukraine, and often overlooked in the grand scheme of things. It's like the middle child of Eastern Europe, often ignored, frequently misunderstood, and prone to acting out for attention. Moldova faces severe economic and political challenges. High migration rates and political turmoil make its future uncertain. Moldova is a country of contradictions. It's home to Europe's poorest population, yet it also boasts a thriving wine industry that produces some of the continent's best vintages. Moldova is also grappling with a brain drain of epic proportions. Its young people are leaving in droves, seeking better opportunities elsewhere. Moldova is at a crossroads. It can choose to embrace its European aspirations and build a more prosperous future for its people, or it can succumb to the gravitational pull of its larger neighbor, Russia. Like Greece, which is also facing collapse by 2025, Moldova's path forward is fraught with challenges. Portugal, a country known for its beautiful beaches, melancholic fado music, and a certain Cristiano Ronaldo. But beneath the sunny facade, Portugal is grappling with some serious issues. Portugal is grappling with economic instability and political corruption. Social unrest is on the rise, and the country's future remains uncertain. The economy, still recovering from the 2010 bailout, is about as stable as a house of cards in a hurricane. Unemployment is high, wages are low, and the cost of living is rising faster than a Ronaldo free kick. Portugal is a country with a rich history and a bright future, but it's being held back by its own internal demons. Until it can tackle corruption, create jobs, and restore faith in its institutions, it will remain mired in frustration and uncertainty. So there you have it, 10 European nations teetering on the edge, facing a cocktail of challenges that could send them spiraling into chaos. But before you start brushing up on your survival skills, remember this. Europe has a long history of overcoming adversity. Europe stands at a crossroads. Will these countries navigate through their crises, or are we witnessing the beginning of a new era of instability? Let us know what you think in the comments. It survived wars, famines, plagues, and even Eurovision. The choices these nations make will determine not only their own fate, but the future of Europe itself. So stay informed, stay engaged, and for God's sake, stay tuned. Subscribe to GlowBit for more updates and future videos on global events.